Hello, everybody. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me okay? Just let me know. I'm going to sit here and chill. I know there's a delay, so. Hope everybody's doing fine this Wednesday evening. Just going to give it a minute, let some people file back in. Looks like there was probably a refresh in there. Once you do file back in, just let me know if you guys can hear me all right. Well, thank you, Miss Mandy Mortem. It is very much appreciated, and you did not have to do that, but I do thank you very much. That's actually really awesome. Well, hello, 42. Thank you for jumping right in and fucking with me. Dark Elf, welcome. Good evening. No, it shouldn't be live in 12 minutes. Should be live right now. I had it set for 9 o'clock. At least I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. How you doing, Grim? Good evening. I am also, well, not drinking a beer yet, but I am cracking one now. It's actually Shipyard Pumpkinhead pumpkin ale, and it is very tasty. Tastes like pumpkins, which is also very fitting. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this. We'll do this. There we go. Haha. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for stopping in for tonight's stream. The book promotion live stream for finally Restless Remains. I know I've been talking about this book for a while. I've been working on it for a while. Feels good to finally have it out and finally be doing this promotion stream. So that's pretty awesome. I'm just going to read some comments here while I'm sitting here, chilling and whatnot. If you guys have anything you want to punch in, any questions, I'll start talking about the book here in a couple of minutes. I just wanted to go ahead and just time for people to come on in, maybe 2-3 minutes, something like that, if that's okay with everybody. Sorry if I'm doing a little bit of rambling. I have been drinking pumpkin spice lattes all day. Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes. My wife was kind enough to send me with Starbucks coffee grounds to work. Actually, the K-Cups, they don't work in our Keurig machine, so I had to empty a bunch of them and put them in the coffee pot. Mix a little allspice and nutmeg, ginger, and cinnamon in with that to pumpkin spice it up. And then I got pumpkin spice creamer at the fridge at work. So PSL's on tap all day today. So I'm a little wired. Fuzzy, how are you? Welcome. Good Wednesday evening. PA, how you doing, man? Not a problem. Totally understand. Please drive safe, PA. All right. And thanks for stopping in to say hi, man. Totally. Was good seeing you. And glad to hear you're, off to home, away from work, which is always a good thing. So it is. I do agree. Homemade is the best, but I love Starbucks coffee. So I'm okay with going to Starbucks to get a Starbucks coffee there because they are very expensive, which kind of sucks. But if I can get the grounds and just brew my own, like golden. So, okay. I mean, I think we're about there. I mean, I'll take one more hit off my vape maybe, and then we'll talk a little about the book. Epic eyebrow reveal. So, yeah, no, I do. I can't have Starbucks all the time. Only every once in a while, and I usually only get Starbucks around when they have around now when they have pumpkin spice lattes. Every once in a while, I'll go to Starbucks and get coffee like twice a year, but usually it's at least once a week. I'm heading over there when they have the pumpkin spice lattes in town because I gotta drink them down while they're available. It's some good stuff, let me tell you. So I just wanted to, I guess, put in my 2 cents about coffee. Thank you for stopping in tonight and listening to me ramble on about coffee. Anyways, the reason that I'm guessing most of you stopped in tonight was to hear a little bit more about this, which is this year's Halloween book. And it's actually purchased. I created a Halloween book last year and created another one, obviously, this year. And at least for the past 2 years, this has been probably one of my most favorite parts of the holiday. Can't guarantee that there will be a Halloween book every single year, but I am very, very proud of this one. Been putting in a lot of work in it. I've gone through and edited it 3 times just to make sure everything is just the way I want it. Did take a lot to get it up there, but it is finally done, and right before October, so it is available just before the holiday month, which is what I had planned on doing all along. No, I did not find my pumpkin gummies online. I actually forgot, Fuzzy. I'll admit that I forgot to take a look. Hey Gamma, how's it going, man? Thank you for stopping in. If I did happen to miss anybody, because Gamma almost slipped by me, I do apologize if I did happen to miss anyone that pops into the stream. I'm going to do my best to obviously keep my eye on the chat while I go ahead and do my talking and blather on and on and on about this book. But if I don't get everybody, such as ISB, how are you, man? Good evening. Just please be understanding with me. Happy Wednesday, by the way. Happy Wednesday. I know that doesn't happen often, right? A little bit of a scatterbrain, especially today. But it's been a good day. I'm feeling pretty pumped, and I'm really happy that this is finally up. So anyways, Restless Remains, 13 Pounds of Flesh is the subtitle for this. Obviously, you can see my copy has not for resale, because this is the author copy. This is the proof that I get sent to me to make sure that everything is how I want it to be and all that kind of happy, fun stuff. And then I go through and do stuff like that and make highlights and scribbles and stuff like that in it, so I can go back through the manuscript and fix everything one last time, just so I can make sure everything is good. But anyways, so that's why that band is there. Obviously, I did this cover art. No, I mean, I could say I did it myself. I did the editing myself. These are all free to use Pixabay images. Quite a few of them cropped together, put through a ton of filters. Obviously, my mask, that's a picture of me. But yeah, I designed the cover myself. Obviously, put a little clearer picture there on the first page. Table of contents will go through just about everything, obviously, that's in here. By title, there's 13 stories. That's why it's 13 Pounds of Flesh. And obviously, the book exclusive, which is the last story, ties into the subtitle of the book, Pound of Flesh, Vengeance. And the exclusive to this is called The Birth of Vengeance. So that's kind of how it ties into that subtitle. Anyways, I'll go through a little bit what I have here. If I do end up misspeaking, it's because I do have some scribbles and things I'm going to kind of have to read over and interpret as I go ahead and read along with these things, and also sipping my beer a little bit, so just bear with me. I did have a tiny nip of tequila rose before we jumped in tonight. Like I said, I was celebrating the new book. So anyway, preface. It is my great pleasure to bring you back into the embrace of terror as I have promised. If you like chilling reads to put you on edge, then you're holding the right book. Prepare yourselves for the creatures that stalk you in the night, entities that will whisper evil in your ear, and things that just won't stay still, no matter how many times you kill them, and so much more. There are 13 of these twisted tales to follow, each possibly more gut-wrenching than the last. But if you're here, then you're not the squeamish type. So pull up a comfortable seat and get settled. It's time you let me take you on a journey through the macabre, one I'm sure will thrill you to your very core. So, and that is the preface. You guys have anything to go ahead and type in any questions or anything like that, by all means, go ahead and do as such. Don't mind reading through some comments and answering questions and whatnot, as like I said, prattle on and on about this book. So the first story in this book is a story that I have narrated on my channel. It's one of my favorite stories that I've written, and which is why it is, the front story in the book, and it is Dissonant Whispers in the Northern Woods. This is a story actually I didn't like when I first wrote it, and then I went back and narrated it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So it just kind of goes to show you, even if you don't like your own work, doesn't mean that maybe it's not good. Because it's one of these stories that I will like really stand by now. I think I did good. I did well. It's about a guy that goes to investigate some property, a home that he's interested in buying. He ends up meeting some locals in the town nearby. They tell him the story, and he doesn't quite believe them. And because he doesn't believe them, things go bad. Things go very, very bad. The wishes go very bad, Sam.
Very, very bad. Sorry.
Next story in this is I Will Never Go Fishing Again. I really like this one as well. It's a story that I've also narrated on my channel previously, about three high school kids skipping school to go fishing and catching more than they bargained for. Sorry, really getting into the spooky spirit of things here. It is almost October, and I've been working on Halloween since April. So to me, fuck it. It's October now. I'm not waiting anymore. It's the spooky season, so it's happening. You're just gonna have to deal. Next one is Abandoned Ships. This is actually this one's a little bit more interesting of a story because it's a little bit different than what I've written. It's not a found footage story. It's a found journal story where really most of the story is actually the character going back and reading a journal that he finds on an abandoned ship, which ends with some insinuations about the deep, dark waters of the ocean. That's all I'm going to say about that. But again, did read that on my channel as well. Yes, 42. I agree. The spooky season is here. Damn it! It's happening. Thank you, Dark Elf. I appreciate that very, very much. I won't say that all my stories are excellent. Personally, I don't feel that they're all excellent. But there are quite a few that I mean, I like them all. But there are quite a few that I will say are better than others. Some are just I feel are written better. Maybe I'm just biased and happen to like those stories more. So who knows? It could be. Fishing does rock. How many of the stories in the book are new? Out of the 13 stories, there are 4 exclusives in here. So I wanted to make sure it was pretty heavy with content that has not been narrated on the channel. One of these stories I might read in the future, so it might end up with 3 exclusive stories, and that's a big maybe. I said the same thing about Hell's Boulevard, and the Ascension Project, I mean, technically still is on the table. I still might read that at some point in time because I really like that story, but again, it also might not happen. So there is at least 4 stories in here, though, that right now are completely exclusive. I definitely do enjoy reading these stories to you for sure. Especially, I mean, everybody's stories, not just mine. Doughboy does fantastic. He really has some very creative ideas. I love what he does with death scenes. Ethan Blades, another one of my co-writers, writes a lot of stories for me. Really dark sense of description and really good capture of emotion. And then there's, Charlie Blackmore also writes a ton for my channel, and she's also very, very descriptive. A lot of her death scenes and her descriptions of the visceral scenery is enough to make my stomach churn a little bit sometimes. So, I mean, very, very talented team of people that write for me. not including also the other people that do write for me occasionally, such as Frank. He's been giving me a couple of stories, and they've been absolutely fantastic. I know Josie has sent me a couple. Creepy Clown Girl has sent me a couple in the past. She's actually got another one that's coming out during the 13 days of Halloween with me. So always got a lot of people, very talented people, helping to support the channel with stories for sure. And well, I didn't forget the baby murder, Mr. Blades. I said darker and a good sense of emotion. The baby killing, I think, would fall into the darker portion of that writing description. Boy, it looks like I'm tired under this mask, huh? I'm really not. I'm actually wide awake, but boy, it looks like with the shadows and stuff, I look like a freaking raccoon. So the fourth story. Oh yes, we are our hardest critics. 42, absolutely, 110%. And anybody got good tips on getting rid of headache if meds and water isn't working? Depends on the kind of headache. If it's sinus headache, steam or Sudafed. If it's migraine, turn off Excedrin. Turn off all. In fact, that's really my number one suggestion. Excedrin and a cup of coffee. Caffeine will do wonders for your headache. Hello, Fifth Horseman. How are you? Let the chaos begin and release the hamsters of war. I agree.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
So moving on, fourth story is another story, yes, that I've narrated. You'll see that a lot of the stories in the beginning of this book are ones that I have narrated on my channel, but they aren't released in text version anywhere else. So it's like you can go to like a website or something like that. And I know a lot of people like to have the physical story to read. It's my best friend. This one is about my dog that passed away this past May. I wrote him a story so that way he could be kind of immortalized and kind of stay with me and in the world forever. Which is why I wanted to make sure that story made it into this book. It's not like 100% eulogy or anything. There is an actual story in there that he's incorporated into. But I wanted to make sure that this made it into the book to, immortalize my buddy. His name was Damien. He's the best dog ever. Hey, Rachel, how are you? I'm very sorry that you got into an accident.
You okay?
She said she's okay and she's back to playing Zelda. So.
No, you're fine.
Thank God. Well, she cut her arm and hit her head, and there was blood loss, and so
Well, she's playing Zelda.
But back to playing Zelda is good. I mean, that means that you're on the mend, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So
If you can move your
that's good. It's very nice to hear from you, and I'm glad that you're doing, you're better, that you're healing.
Yes.
So that's good, very good to know. Please be careful out there. Don't more getting hurt. So the next story, this is one of the exclusives. This one has not been read on my channel. It's called Horror in Memoriam. This story is about a group of kids that go camping at a local hangout, which is also the scene of a town ghost story. Obviously, they don't believe in ghost stories. And they realize that maybe they should have, but they also realize that not everything is what it seems. So we'll just leave that one there. But yes, that one is an exclusive. Another exclusive. The next story. This one is also a pretty large one. It's called Black Mold. Love that picture, by the way. This is a guy who is basically living in the woods by himself. Ends up succumbing to the ravages of a terrible wind and thunderstorm. And ends up isolated, alone, and in the worst of circumstances that I'm not going to go ahead and get into much more than that. But things get pretty twisty in there. Here's one I did read on my channel. So this one is available on the channel, narrated by myself. The Lost Treasure of Jaredai Clune. Again, it's another story about some teenagers heading out to, well, I wouldn't say a local party spot, but just heading out, doing some camping for the night and telling some ghost stories. And things go wrong. They end up finding more than what they think they would find. And again, things aren't always what they seem. And true realization can bring with it a much more solidified sense of terror. Next book. The next book. The 8th book. We're totally skipping the rest of the... No, okay. Anyway, into the next story. This is one my daughter actually wanted me to write. We were actually at a flea market, and my daughter said, "You should write a story about a robot dog." I said, "Well, I could do that." She goes, "Well, good, then do it. I want to see it." So now it's in a book. It's called I Bought My Daughter a Toy Robot Dog. And there it is. It's also narrated on my channel, but now it is also in a book. So, haha, Shiloh, I wrote it and I published it. But yeah, it's about a father who buys his daughter a toy robot dog. Ends up bringing home more than just a toy. This is one of my favorite stories. It is one that I ended up narrating as a live reading on my channel. So I think I put it up as a repurposed live reading as well. I don't know how many people ended up seeing it. I don't think it was a whole lot, but I absolutely love this story. It's that one crazy subscriber. Yes, I'm looking at all of you. This one is dedicated to you guys. I do like this story. It's about a content creator, an author, a YouTuber who has a fan / co-writer, and somebody in the mix isn't up to any good. We'll just say that. Had to include a sequel story in this. I know it was Cleaving Thought from Bone, my second book. I believe that had Soft Flesh in it. So I am publishing the sequel story to that, which I did narrate on my channel, which is Supple Flesh, One Night Out on the Town. It is a sequel story. I don't want to give too much away, as the main character is about Ilara. But it does very much tie into Soft Flesh, if you like that story. And if you haven't heard it or don't know what that story is about, Soft Flesh can be summed up in 2 words: lesbian cannibalism. So if that sounds intriguing to you, you should check out Soft Flesh. I think that you would enjoy it. Did a lot of work on this book, or this story. Tell you that. This one's got highlights all over it. So I changed some things, a lot of wordings. And this is the 3rd edit. This is the 3rd time I edited this thing. Yes, 42 is also a narrator. 42 is a really awesome narrator, and she's an author. She's an author and a narrator. So she's very, very similar to what I do. The 3rd exclusive, The House on Hemlock Hill. It's another story that has not been narrated on my channel. It's about a guy who has a very, very bad day, goes to the bar to have a few drinks, and ends up meeting a very mysterious individual with a very intriguing proposition. Said proposition may have some, well, you'll just have to see. But yes, that one is exclusive to the book as well. Please do send me notebooks. Send me stories, send me notebooks, send me things to read. I need stories to narrate anyway, so send them on over. The 12th story, The Horror Show. I did narrate this on my channel as well. It's actually, this is again another one of those stories that I really, really enjoy. Really like that. I don't want to say, I would say this one's probably one of the few stories I've written with a triple twist. Most of my stories have a double twist, right? The one you see coming and the one you don't see coming. This one's got one you don't see coming, then one you did see coming, and then another one that you didn't see coming at the end again. So I love the twists towards the end of that story. It is about a group of friends who go out to a nightclub. They run into some issues and find shelter at the local carnival, which doesn't work out so well. Yes, the triple twist. I don't usually do triple twists, but that one I did. Double twist is usually. Yo, what's going on? No, I'm not channeling my inner Shamadouche, and I'm not talking about M. Night Shyamalan. Listen, we are promoting a book. I cannot rant about hack writers at the moment. I'm not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan at all. At all. At all. I'm looking at you, M. Night. You suck. Anyway, here's the final story, the actual book exclusive, the main exclusive, the one I wrote specifically for this book, The Birth of Vengeance. This story is also really good. I'm actually kind of ashamed that I won't narrate it because it's an exclusive. It's a very good story. I like it very, very much. There is a sequel to it coming out this Halloween, not the day of, but during the marathon. I believe it's like night 10. So it's like 3 days away from Halloween, October 29th, October 28th, something like that. My Name is Vengeance comes out, which is the sequel to The Birth of Vengeance. So thank you. Thank you very much, 42. Hope you're doing well, Somber. And yes, it does draw out my inner drama. The guy is ruining the genre. He's literally mucking up the genre with shit work. It pisses me off. I'm sorry. It does. Anyways, so I'm going to move on to the acknowledgments now. Thank you, Somber. This is a little bit longer, so it might take me obviously an extra minute or two to get through, but it is a little bit longer than the preface. I really have to itch my nose. I can't do that through the mask. Okay. I'm calming down, ISB. I promise. I swear. And I'm very sorry to hear that about your dog, Rachel. I am. Yeah, I know what that's like. If you ever need to talk or anything, feel free to reach out to me. I know what that's like. But I mean, if she was sick and stuff, it might have been, maybe her time. I mean, I really don't know. But again, you can reach out to me. I do understand what that, what you're going through. Have I ever wanted to read some scary stories from Texas? I do. I actually would love to find out who the author is of Kosciuszko, Texas, because I'd love to read that story on my channel. It's one of my favorite creepypastas, and I can't get a hold of the author, so I won't read it. But I'd love to. I love Texas horror. Texas is fucked up, man. Sorry, I love all you Texans. The Texas is crazy. Texas is like, you watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that's an accurate depiction of Texans. Texans, man, woo! You guys are strong, you're hard workers, and you're fucking nuts. Respect. I just won't go wandering off into your woods or anything, but mad respect. All right, so acknowledgments. Darn itch. All right. Yes. Texas. It's a fun state, don't get me wrong. Just whew. People out there, man, they definitely say and do whatever it is sometimes. And of course, everybody's different, so I don't want to do a lot of generalizing. But basically it's a compliment, at least where I'm concerned. If somebody's like, man, all you New Yorkers are fucking crazy, I'd be like, thanks. And I'm from Pennsylvania, just putting that out there. Not a New Yorker at heart, not a native. All right. I want to thank you all for taking the time to read my 7th published book. It's truly hard to believe so much has happened and so much distance has been traveled. When I first started with my first Kindle publish, I could have never have dreamed it would have come this far. Looking back now, it's hard to imagine not penning worlds of horror fantasy. Writing and bringing these stories to life has become a true passion of mine, something I expect will continue for many years to come. I also want to thank all of my many supporters, most of whom have always been or have become true friends that I would like to think I have gotten to know well. Thank you to my wife. It can never be understated that being a spouse of a horror author is never easy. I want to thank my children for always believing in me and being the lighthouses that I need for direction. Thank you to my family for always believing and pushing me to never give up. Thank you to all my friends, and you know who you are. A support system is the fuel to any success. Also, thank you to all of my supporters, whether you be friends, family, someone passing by with a nice comment to say, or simply cheering from the shadows, and of course, you, dear reader. I truly love you all, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you have given me. Lastly, I want to address you specifically, dear reader. You, the person who has read through this book and survived. You, the one who sits waiting for more, drooling at the thought of more to satiate your carnivorous appetite. If you either experienced fun, fright, or both while diving through this anthology, you may be happy to know that there are more books available, just waiting in the dark for you to discover them. There will be information on where to find these titles in the back of this book. And of course, if once you've filled up on fathoms of fear and you're still longing for more, don't despair. True evil never dies, and my next publish is sure to be on the horizon soon. Hello, Sneed. That was the acknowledgments, the back matter basically, to the new book, Restless Remains, 13 Pounds of Flesh. This one looks all tattered and has a banding on it because this has been getting all beat up in my backpack for like the past 2 months. Yeah. So then on the next page, I put the covers of the other 6 books. So the other titles are there, and obviously the link to my author page, which is where you can find all of those titles. And yeah, so the back matter of the book, obviously, it's just a picture of my pretty mask. The preface is also the paragraph here in the back matter. So the preface and this little bit right here is the exact same. And then obviously the terrors within is the contents. All the different stories that you'll find available in this book. Beyond that, my scary face. It's covered with a mask, so it's not as scary. This book is available obviously in paperback. It's also available in Kindle, and it is the first of my books because Amazon just made it a thing. It is the first of my book that is also available in hardcover. So if you're a fan of hardcovers, this one is available hardcover, paperback, and Kindle. Wouldn't mind giving somebody in this room a free book. Let me go ahead and turn off this camera, hit my vape a few times, and maybe I'll figure out a way to pick somebody out of a hat here for a free Kindle copy. So yeah, just give me one moment. Whew. All right. You guys could probably hear me a little bit better now, too. It doesn't sound like I have like a freaking sock in my mouth. It's my voice is not being obstructed by a mask. Just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of visual cues while I kind of went through the book. Showed off each one of the titles and the sketch art underneath it. Yes, Yes, I did want to take off so I can vape with my scary face and drink this pumpkin beer because I don't want it to get warm. Yeah, no, just with the mask in front of my face. I know that sometimes it's kind of muffled when I speak. Hardcover. Very cool ISB. Yeah, it is. Now, because the hardcover, the printing cost on that is more expensive, considerably more expensive. Um, Kindle versions are only 99 cents. I wanted to keep this book as cheap as I could possibly get it. I was the only editor that did it. I was the one that did the cover art. I was the only author. So the book is 100% mine. So I wanted to keep it as costing as little as I possibly could. So the Kindle version is 99 cents, which is as low as Amazon would let me put it. The paperback is $9.99, so the paperback is $10, and the hardcover is $17.99. So it's $18 for the hardcover, which is still cheaper than the Locust Lake book, but it is more expensive than like the paperback and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, if you like hardcovers, this one is available now in hardcover. Pumpkin beer, the brand is Shipyard Pumpkinhead, and I gotta say, this is awesome. I have not tried crushing a spider with the Kindle unless you're counting my phone. Then yeah, I think I've probably done that. Well, thank you, Dark Elf. For the voice compliment. Thank you, very very much. I appreciate it. And I tried to keep it as cheap as I possibly could. And like I said, I want to actually at least give away, one or two copies here tonight, maybe even three. So how do I do this? How do I pick somebody? First off, I mean, you guys are. Does anybody want a free Kindle copy? Like, because everyone's saying yay physical books. I mean, you could still get the physical book. I wouldn't stop you. So I mean, a Kindle copy would still suit, I suppose. This way too. Like, I just wanted to be able to get in some people's hands. And just maybe take a look through it for yourself and just kind of see what the book is all about, and obviously seeing that book and what that's about might hey, what other books are available as well, because this is my 7th book and I do have another one already planned. I mean, it's actually written. I just got to start the editing process, so I'm kind of waiting until after October. I'm hoping it'll be released sometime early next year, and yes, it is the next Locust Lake book, The Legacy of Locust Lake, which is going to be a lot bigger than the first Locust Lake book, which is the largest book to date that I have. So it's going to be a lot bigger than that, and it'll also probably end up being hardcover. But again, it'll probably end up being very expensive, like more expensive than the first Locust Lake book, because it's going to be even bigger. It's got a co-writer, may commission the story or the cover art again. So, I mean, well, anything can be a Kindle reader, a phone, a computer, anything can be a Kindle. So, but yeah, let me put it this way, I'm going to, because ISB, I believe he's got all of my books. I'm going to send you one. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to punch my email into the chat here. ISP is like jumping up and down. Send me an email so I have your email address on file, and then I can send you a book to your email. All right. So for anybody else that is interested in a Kindle book, still would like to give away at least 2. So I mean, ISB's he's getting one, but that one really doesn't count for giveaways. So I'll give at least 2 more away. Thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Whoever guesses it or gets the closest will get a book. I mean, I guess that's probably the fairest way that I could probably do it, right? And while you guys are thinking of your numbers, I'm going to go grab the bag of cigarettes. I think I want to have one. Yeah, Horseman's like 11. Oh, that's great. Oh, it's awesome. It actually was 3.
I knew it.
It was 3. So Gamma, once again, please send me your email, or send me an email to my email that I posted above, and I can do that again. And I will send you a book as well. I do want to give away one more. But yeah, make sure you guys send me. So otherwise, I don't want to forget. So, send me an email, and I will send you a free Kindle version of the new book. 42, man, you were so close. You were so close. All right. Let me just think and make sure I'm correct on this. Jason goes to hell, right? Yes. Jason. All right. And if I happen to be wrong and you guess a different one than I'm thinking, I'll give you a book too. But there's only one movie I can think of where this is true. Which Friday the 13th movie does Jason not use a machete? Heard of the chocolate record player? It sounds pretty sweet. I love record players. I used to be obsessed with records and record players when I was a child. And I love chocolate. So this just sounds like an amazing idea to me. Well, I did technically say any of them. I don't believe Jason in part 1 killed anyone with a machete, but I mean, Jason really wasn't even in that movie. He technically was a vision at the end. So I don't know if I would count that as Jason being in the movie. So it's not the first one. That's why I didn't include, and I did think of that too, but he's not technically in the movie. So first one's more or less a trick question. Oh no, he's definitely got a machete in part 6. Definitely had a machete in part 6. In fact, they show a close-up of it while he's walking into the camp. It's awesome. I'm sorry, I love the Friday the 13th movies. Part 3, nope. He actually chops the dude's arm off in the barn at the end with the machete. He does primarily use the machete. And in the Friday the 13th game, they say that Jason's trademark weapon is a machete because he uses the machete in every single movie. But they are wrong. He doesn't use the machete in every movie. So even the makers of the games or the game and the movies know less about these movies than I do. It's not Jason X. It's not the 2009 version. It's not part 2. Nope, Jason X was the one in space. And it's, guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. So it's definitely in that one. So this is fun. Oh, 7. 7 is one of my favorite Jason movies. It's my favorite look of Jason. It's the favorite look of Jason. And nope, he actually chops the dude's head off while he's looking through the gifts with that little scanner and stuff. He comes up behind him and lops his head off while he's sitting on the couch with a machete. Nope, Jason X was Jason in space. Dark Elf, got it. It's Jason Takes Manhattan. It's part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason does not use a machete in that movie at all. The one where he got struck by lightning in the grave to reanimate was part 6, and he definitely used the machete in that one. But no, it was part 8. Jason does not use a machete in Jason Takes Manhattan. So I'm going to post my email again. Dark Elf. So that way you can send me an email and I can send you the book in return. So for everybody that did not win, Child's Play. Jason did not use a machete in Child's Play. I agree. For anybody who did not win a free Kindle copy, like I said, the Kindle copy is only 99 cents. I would just keep giving away copies if I could, but I do only have so many dollars to spare because I am certainly not one of those rich YouTubers. Far from it. YouTube is not my job. My job is my job. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot, but I would buy the whole world of my book if I could. I would have given it away for free. I tried to put it up for free, but Amazon wouldn't let me. 99 cents was as low as it would let me do the Kindle. So that's what I had to do. And I do apologize that it is 99 cents and not 0 cents. Yeah. Oh, well, that's $5 is, yeah, I didn't want it to be $5 for you. I'm sorry. I mean, the American dollar is going down though really quickly. So, I mean, give it a week. Oh, that was great political humor. But yeah, so, have you seen the web series Little Voorhees? I have not, but it follows Jason going through his preschool and shenanigans, ensued. This sounds interesting. But still 42. Again, at the point, I didn't want it to be more than 99 cents for you. Inflation's stupid. I'm not a fan of this inflation nonsense, and I do apologize that it is not 99 cents. Though I think I did set it for other regions as well to be lower. So it might, if you're not in the US, it might be lower in a different region than 99 cents, like 83 cents or something like that. When I said 99, I meant for United States. I didn't really account for cost differences across national borders. But I did send it. I did set it. So it might be less. I don't think so, but it could be. Could be. Don't quote me on it. And money is stupid. Shut up and take a chicken. I mean, I love chickens. Oh, I know you're joking around. I am joking around too. I'm hoping that you can hear the smile in my voice. I'm pretty sure that you can. But yeah, I am just having a grand old time over here. I'm so happy that this book is finally up. It is released. I can finally talk about it. I have been working on compiling this book and editing it. Basically, I was doing that while also at the same time putting out a Locust Lake story every other week. So always casting out lines, adding lines, hours of editing. And then when I was all done with that, jump right back on the book and start editing more of the book, getting things compiled, going through doing an edit of each story, adding it to the compilation. Once everything's compiled, editing the entire book. And once the book was entirely done, getting myself, putting the manuscript up, getting it formatted correctly, getting it sent to me so I could go through the book all over again with a pen and a highlighter and do my final edit on it. But the final edit is always my favorite part because it's my favorite. The reason it's my favorite part, especially the Halloween book, is the favorite part of the process is my Halloween book is always like the favorite of the favorite parts of the process. Because my favorite part of the process is getting the author copy, the author proof, and going to the park near where I work and walking around the park and editing my book. And the Halloween books are always my favorite because when I get to that part, I get to walk around the park with my book while sipping a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, and I get to edit my new book. That is my favorite part of the process. So that was fun. That part was very, very fun. No, my name is not Ashton Brown. If that's a public figure that I should recognize the name of, I'm going to have to look that up after the stream because I'm not sure who that is. But I will take that as a compliment until I know better. So thank you. Again, I do apologize for the goofiness. I used to live in Pennsylvania. I was born, well, technically I was born in New Jersey, but I lived and was raised in Pennsylvania my entire life. My father actually worked out of town in Albany 5 days a week in New York, Albany, New York. When I grew up, I started working with my father out of town doing construction. And then this is where I met my wife, and I met her children, and I formed a family, and I kind of just set up my roots here, right here in Albany, where the work is.
Now I'm a thing.
And now this is a thing.
Now there's a gremlin.
Now there's
living in this house.
There's a gremlin on my shoulder because of this decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find the mother's later. I'll be back.
Okay, well, you do that and have fun. Aishlin reminds me of a story I read before. I'll have to check that out. I didn't actually get my name from a story, at least not my first name. My last name, Aishlin, actually has a last name, which is Gainsborough, and it's actually Sabian Lockhart is an alias, so Aishlin Gainsborough is Sabian Lockhart's alias. So it's my alias's alias. Sabian I made up myself, but Lockhart is from Final Fantasy VII. Tifa Lockhart. And then Aishlin Gainsborough. Aishlin I made up myself, but Gainsborough is also Final Fantasy VII. Eris Gainsborough. So little nods to the Final Fantasy VII-ness in my names. I've had these names since I was 15 years old. When I was in computer class, I think I've touched this before in a previous stream. My computer teacher told everybody, because when the internet was like just becoming a huge thing and Windows 95 was like the top operating system, we were all encouraged to come up with a fake name that we would use exclusively on the internet. So I came up with an internet persona, Sabian Lockhart, and it has been my internet persona for over 25 years. So, and just in case there was ever an issue, I came up with an alias to my alias. So, what does the W in the L.W. Sutton stand for? Well, see, I mean, I guess I could tell you what those actually stand for. I've always said that the initials, what those letters stand for, the names themselves rhyme with my actual two first initials. So LW doesn't rhyme with my two first initials, but like, what's a good, let's say the L stood for less, then my first initial could be S. And if the W stood for I don't know. I can't. Whatever. It's got to rhyme with a letter. Weirdo doesn't rhyme with a letter. Okay. Anyways, so the L and the W, the L stands for Lee, and the W stands for Way. W-A-Y. Lee Way Sutton. No, my name is not Lee. My middle name is not Way, and my last name is not Sutton.
Popular to contrary to popular belief. I know English.
Leeway could stand for PK. It could stand for ZA. And now, obviously, I didn't give you my real first initials, so it's not those, but that's the example that I'm giving you. So that's what the initials, those stand for, is Lee Way Sutton. It's not letting you send me an email. Well, that's not good. Let me type it again. Make sure, maybe I typed it wrong. Aishlin02@gmail.com. Maybe I didn't put in the 002. I have to like reach past my microphone to type, so it's not without question that maybe I mistyped my email. But give that a shot. But yeah, or you can just send it to me on Twitter. That's perfectly fine. Send me a DM with your email address, and I will send you a Kindle. That's perfectly fine. I'm cool with that. Beans. All right. Well, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to hit my vape for another minute or two. and get ready to close out the stream here shortly. I honestly did not expect this to run that long. I thought this was going to be a short 30-minute promotion stream for the book. I didn't realize I had so much to say about the new book, but I guess I did.
Well, there's a lot of great book in the book.
And it is I mean, I love the fact that it's like this Halloween is just going to be awesome. I mean, I'm just going to put that out there right now. This Halloween is going to be absolutely epic. I've really, really jam-packed October with some very interesting things. Obviously, this book is kind of the start of it. October 1st, I'm going to obviously announce who get a hold of the contest winner so they can get their prizes. October 2nd, The Project comes out, which I posted before. If you are a fan of Supernatural or if you're a fan of Locust Lake, you're not going to want to miss out this October 2nd. Mackenzie and Seth return. So that's coming. I have an Eyeless Jack story that I wrote coming out October 9th. I have something really, really special coming out for Creepypasta Day, October 13th. It's a story that has never been narrated outside of its original 1977 release. I went and transcribed the entire thing so I could go ahead and narrate it myself. Instead of just being like a bunch of other YouTube channels up there and just kind of reposting the story that was released in 1977, I wanted to re-narrate it. So I transcribed it, did the casting, tons and tons of sound effects, full production value. So that's coming out Creepypasta Day. Now, and this isn't even the 13 Days of Halloween. The 13 Days of Halloween are going to have they're all originally written, 12 stories by me, 2 stories by Doughboy, 1 by Charlie Blackmore, and 1 by Creepy Clown Girl. And I know that's more than 13 stories, but that's because some of them are double features. So we have a lot of great content coming out for the 13 Days of Halloween. A few, not just 1 or 2, we have a few really large collab stories coming out. So there'll be a lot of people featured on the channel during the 13-day marathon, including Spirit Voices, Somber Puppet, Mary P, Ethan Blades, Spooky Boo, Sarah. I don't know if I said Seraphim, but Seraphim, Danny Dreadful, 42 Reads, Sir Creepington. I mean, and the special guest. I can't reveal who the special guest is, but the special guest will be introducing the story for night 1. They're basically introducing the entire marathon. So really, really, really awesome lineup, not to mention the story that I have picked out for Halloween night should catch everybody by surprise and whatnot. All 13 stories will feature live action intros and outros and sound effects. So full production value, 13 days in a row. And again, this is just the stuff that I'm thinking of. Obviously, there's a ritual story, 10 shots in. That's coming out on the 16th. I still got the Tuesday tidbits and the Thursday tidbits that are coming out. Lots and lots of things going on. And again, this is just October. Lots of things planned for November. And don't get me started on Christmas. Let's just get through October 1st. There's way too much to hype about as it is. We can always touch base on that on a later stream.
See what I always say.
Absolutely love you guys for stopping in tonight. Thank you so much. Really, really, really happy that you guys came in. The 22nd of October. Yeah, that will be night 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be night 4 of the Halloween 13 Days of Halloween. Nothing more special than that. But it's a good one. I will say that it is definitely a good one. But yeah, lots of good stuff planned. Lots of hype coming. October is really, really jam packed, and it's going to be great. So this is kind of where it all starts, is with the Halloween book. Really, really want to thank you guys for stopping in tonight. If you have anything that you guys want to punch in before I close out the stream, I don't want to go ahead and just end this abruptly on you. So go ahead and punch that in. Dark Elf, excellent. I will go ahead and I will look for your message on Twitter. But yeah, I will give it another minute or two, so that way you guys can catch up to the delay and punch in if anything that you want. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. If I missed something, if you guys punched in, a question that I didn't answer, something like that, by all means, feel free to repost it. Right now, I'm checking my email just to make sure that I got, I got Gamma, and I believe I got ISB, and cool, and I got Dark Elf. So I got all 3 of your messages. When the stream ends tonight, shortly, I will go ahead and I will send you your Kindle books. I really, really hope that you enjoy them. I honestly think that you will. I really do. I very, very much believe in this book. This is probably one of the best books to date that I've put out. Hell's Boulevard, too, is another really good favorite of mine. Of course, really love the Christmas book. And who could forget about Locust Lake? I love them all. The books are all amazing.
Books are books, and
but this is really good. Dreamscape. Let's not forget. Everybody wants to own their own copy of the Necronomicon.
Mm-hmm.
So
of course.
Absolutely somber. It has been absolutely fantastic. Hanging out. Thank you so much for stopping in. Does Shiloh have any stories on the web yet? Not yet. She has been writing though. She hasn't quite sent any over yet, but I imagine that will be happening soon. So I'll get her.
Pressure on me.
I'll get her writing for me. It'll happen. She's a fantastic writer. She's better than I am. And I'm not joking. And she's 11. So when this kid's 30, watch out. Sure, I will let Rachel know that. Rachel, I will let my wife know that you gave her a shout out, and I'll even give her a hug for you. Is this book it is. At least it has been for the past couple of months. Been carrying it around everywhere with me. I've been working on it every, free moment that I have. Really wanted to make sure that this one was good. I mean, I wanted to make sure all of them are good, but that's the thing, right? I wanted to make sure I really put the love and attention with this one as well. Last thing I want is somebody to get my book and be disappointed. Be like, oh wow, this is
story.
Look at all these spelling errors. Look at all these grammatical errors. Look at this isn't capitalized. And I know you find that in like every book. There's not a book out there that I've read that is 100% edited perfectly. I always find spelling mistakes. I always find grammar mistakes in every book. I don't think it's possible. I mean, maybe it is, but there's bound to be a mistake here and there. But there shouldn't be any that I can find in this. I have skimmed through it at least 3 times. And that's not counting the previous times when I read the stories on my channel. When I went through and edited them then. So, I mean, these stories have been edited multiple times. So I really, really hope that you enjoy them. But yeah. Thank you very much, Dark Elf. I hope you have a great night as well. And again, I thank you guys so much for stopping into this. Really means a lot to me. Obviously, it goes without saying, there's a lot of work that goes into making a book, getting the formatting right, getting it all, accepted, approved, and then getting it published, and getting it up, and then putting it out there for everybody to read, and expect somebody to pay money for it. So it means a lot. It means more than I can really say that you guys came tonight. So I just really, 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 really want to thank you so much. You're the absolute best in the world. I have the best following. I have the best friends. I have the best people that surround me. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Can't thank you enough.
It's getting cheesy. We gotta end the stream, everybody.
Thank you very much, Dark Elf. I really do try. Never want to disappoint, and try and put that effort in with every little thing that I do. So cool. Very good. ISP. That's awesome. And yes, a happy birthday and a happy Halloween. So just consider it Halloween present from me to you.
Happy birthday Halloween thing.
So love you guys to death. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much again. Huge hugs, bro fists, all the way around. Love you guys to death. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you for the interest in the book, and thank you for spending some time with me. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to be reading Abandoned Ships from the new book. It's a story I've read on the channel already, but I'm going to read it live tomorrow. So hope to see you then.
Freaking funny.
It will be. So love you all, and we'll hopefully see you then. Peace out, fellas and ladies.